project Mustang and what it takes. In this particular one, I'm gonna get as much fuel out of the fuel tank as I can because the fuel's been sitting in there for almost 4 years. So what I'm gonna do is disconnect the fuel filter, and using that main fuel line, go ahead and run the fuel pump and get as much fuel out of it as I can. There's 1/8 of a tank currently in there, and that'll give me a chance to see if there's any rust comes out of the tank or anything such as that. I may have more issues that I want. Alright, there's your fuel filter. You get your fuel lines on each end. They got little clips that go through the main assembly there. And then there's a hose clamp that's holding the filter into its holder. You're going to want to change that anyway. Dealing with fuel, it definitely is an ugly situation. In case I'm dealing with fuel and rust and everything else I can imagine. A smaller screwdriver and we'll get out of the way. And what you got is these little fine little push-up clips that lock the here. And there's basically no way to get those clips out without breaking them. That just sucks. Now you gotta go get more. Nope. They come with the filters, so. Come on. There it is. Yuck. There's fuel still in the fuel filter. Not on the lines, but it's in the fuel filter. Okay, like that. Let's see what she's in. Now I'll get some fuel hose. Stick it over the end of the opposite side of the fuel filter. Now I can run that into a fuel line or filter. Okay, that's your fuel filter. That's your inlet, and that's the outlet. I got the outlet going there out into a fuel can. And okay, here's a quick way to get the fuel pump out. Because if you run your pump, if you're gonna run it through the regular system, you got a fuel pressure shut off. It's only gonna run for a couple seconds until the engine starts running, and then a solenoid and the your relay kicks in. But if it's not running, the vehicle's not running, it's going to kick out. That's why when you kick it, you hear the pump run momentarily and shut off, and that gives you an idea that your pump is working. If you don't hear that when you turn the ignition switch, you've probably got a problem with your pump. So what I've done is, if you go back to the back of your vehicle, you'll find in this case on the Mustangs, you're going to find a cannon plug or a plug system right here. And what you want to do is you want to plug that. You want to get two wires, one for positive, one for negative. And right now I got the negative, and it is in the very top right hand, or left hand, very top left hand socket is the negative, and the one right underneath it is your positive. Don't flip them, because the pump will run backwards. So you want to put those, get that set up. So your black one's in the top left socket, and the one on the bottom is your, and the minute you do that, you're going to run your pump straight. There you go. There's a trick to that. Okay, here's an example of what fuel, 4-year-old fuel, looks like. Kind of yellow, but pump sounds good, and that's what 4-year-old fuel looks like. Kind of yellow. So it is a good idea to get it out of the fuel tank. There's no rust in there, and that's a primary thought there. So here you go, Dean. Thanks for reminding me to check the fuel pump and check the fuel tank. Even though I was ahead of you on that, but anyway, I'll give you credit for it. So we'll talk to you later. And for you that are watching, make sure you do that. You can override your fuel pump on the Mustang by finding your main fuel pump plug. And in this case, it's right up here, right underneath your driver's side or passenger side light or tail light, and you'll find it. It's connected up, and it's the female side. And the plugs is the outside, or to your left, top female plug, which is your ground, and your bottom, the one right underneath it, is your female power. Okay, don't mix them up or your pump will be going backwards. That was a quick tip there. Okay. It sounds like we're about there. What you'll hear is the pump going dee dee dee. Okay. I'm not gonna worry about the rest of it. It's in there, I'll fill it back up. But as you can see, it's yellow. But I've got no rust in there, which is great. So that takes care of that. Here, from this point, I'll put the new fuel filter in when I get a minute, and just connecting the lines up here. Turn my power box off, and then replug connector back in. Alright, here it click. Okay, good. Alright, we're about the fuel. Got fuel back here right now. I got the fuel line I'll put back on there later. But there we go. Alright. So that takes care of removing the bad fuel from the fuel tank. And I know my fuel are not going to have too much of an issue. Okay, also, recommendation, you put the new fuel in, go ahead and run fresh fuel through those fuel lines. So then if you've got bad fuel in the fuel lines, then you got to know that you've got fresh fuel, and it's blowing anything out of the lines that might be in there, because you do not want those in your fuel injectors. That's the primary purpose of that, is cleaning out your old tank, new fuel filter, and then make sure you run fuel out those lines. Okay, just a quick example of the old fuel that came out and the new fuel that's in there. And basically, and I would say, you know, just because it is 4 years old, you know, basically you're dropping your octane. Older it is, the less octane level you got. So there's your two. Alright, takes care of that little episode. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment and say hi. And subscribe.